wrapping up our day here in Ventnor. We're on Sacramento Avenue, and join with me is one of Ventnor's Beach Patrol's own, Mike Keogh. Mike, thanks for hanging out with me tonight.
No problem. Thanks for having me, Joe.
So we had a beautiful day today. We had no rain. The sun was shining. Temperatures were warm on the beach. It looks like people were taking the notice and coming on out, right?
Absolutely, yeah. The morning started out, it was absolutely beautiful. It was flat with no wind. As the day started to progress, the wind picked up, but that didn't keep people from coming down.
Yeah, and it looks like it didn't keep people from going in the water from what we saw earlier when you were out. But it was interesting because Cape May today had a water temperature of 80 to 81 degrees. But once you went this way over to Steel Pier in Atlantic City, it was in the low 60s. And Mike, you were saying before that it was also cold here in Ventnor, right?
Yeah, it was absolutely freezing from when I was working a week ago.
Yeah, so the temperatures have been dropping over time, but it's something called upwelling, which pretty much is when the top layer, the warmest layer of the ocean, gets pushed further into the ocean, and the cooler water from underneath gets taken above. But it looks like, again, it wasn't enough to keep people out of the water today.
No, definitely not.
All right, so Mike, I've never met in person before, but I've heard a lot about him because he is actually my boss's son. And actually, to be specific, my boss's son. So Buzz Keogh, who's our executive editor here at the Press, this is his son, a wonderful human being, just like your father, right?
Thank you.
I promise you didn't tell me to say that. I got two questions for you about him. I don't think any of them are hard. First question is, what's your favorite part about him?
My favorite part about my dad definitely has to be he's just a great guy. He can do a lot of everything. He's taught me a lot, from English papers to how to play sports to how to fix stuff around the house. He's kind of just a great guy and great role model.
All right, now here's the other question. What's something that he wouldn't ever tell me but is actually the case with him? Does he have like a little hidden secret that maybe he's not telling us?
Hidden secret about you?
No, about him.
About
I don't know. What does he say about me?
He loves you.
All right. I just want to
You're
make
great
sure.
for the press. He loves your enthusiasm around there.
Thanks. Anything super secret about your dad that he hasn't been telling us all this time?
No, I think he's pretty open.
I would agree. I think he is pretty out in the open. You know, I think he's his door's always open, so I could talk to him whenever he wants.
Yeah.
So that's a plus. Hey, Mike, thanks so much for joining us. We're going to transition over to our forecast, and if you like the beach, we got a couple more beach days coming up.
Absolutely. Thanks, Joe.
Okay, we moved away from the sand as we get into the forecast portion of this, but I want to thank Mike again for the time and chatting with us here this evening. We have our heat wave at Atlantic City International Airport. It got above 90 degrees again, and that's our fourth day of temperatures at or above 90. This is our third heat wave of the year, and we'll continue it for one more day as we go into our day on Thursday. Now, for some of you, it was a hot but not too humid day. Let's look at our dew points as we went through the afternoon. They dropped from the 70s into the 60s, and we even had a few 50s around, especially as you went over towards Hamilton, Buna, getting over to Bridgeton, places away from the shore as the westerly drier wind made its way into the region here. Now, as we go into tonight, we're going to have temperatures fall through the 80s, and we'll get into the 70s by about midnight for much of us here on the mainland. The shore should still stay around 80 degrees. Low temperatures will be anywhere between 70 degrees if you're on the Pine Barrens to around 80 right along the Parkway corridor, and the shore should be in the upper 70s as well. We did break a record maximum low temperature on Tuesday at Atlantic City International Airport, as well as Atlantic City Marina. Today, as we go through our day, as long as we stay above 78 by midnight at Atlantic City International Airport, we'll have the daily record again. That would be a tie with 2002. Let's get you into our Thursday. Some early fog. Otherwise, we're going to have plenty of sunshine throughout our morning. Temperatures will be rising pretty quickly, though, and for the afternoon, we'll have highs just around 90 degrees on the mainland. When you factor in the heat index, it'll feel like 100 because it will be sticky. Now, our daytime is dry, but as we go into the evening hours, we are going to see showers and storms develop between 8 to 10 p.m. The wettest part of the night should be after midnight until about 9 a.m. on Friday, where we can see areas of roadway flooding. The good news is I don't see any severe weather with this, again, outside of that areas of roadway flooding. Then as we go into our Friday, we're going to be dry from about 9 a.m. till about 2 p.m., and then these scattered showers and storms flare up again. Pretty similar to how last Friday ended up. Now, temperatures, they're going to be lower. They're going to be below 90 degrees. We'll be in the mid to upper 80s for much of us here in South Jersey. And then as we go into Saturday, we're going to keep those temperatures, but we're going to drop the dew points. Dew points should be in the 60s, so a very comfortable day for the beach or a cookout or doing outdoor work on Saturday. As we go into Sunday, we're going to see these afternoon showers and storms Temperatures will still be in the mid to upper 80s, though. Before we wrap up, let's take a look at the tropics. We have potential tropical cyclone 9. What will become Iasias at some point, either today or tonight. It has had a tough time developing, which is good news, of course, but still packing maximum sustained winds at 45 miles an hour right now. It should go through Hispaniola, even Cuba, and then as we go into the weekend, it's going to be very close to Florida or even make landfall in Florida. We're going to monitor its interest sometime between Tuesday to Wednesday is when we would see some kind of impacts. It can be anything from rough seas and rip currents to a day-long deluge here in South Jersey. We'll keep you updated as we go forward. Coming up at 6:30 tomorrow morning, we're going to talk more about the hot weather, the relief to come, and the tropics. Until then, have a great night, everybody.